Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to the Sewing Summit. I'm super excited to be in this one of a kind summit. Um, the first time I encountered the name of this training, I was blown away because I'm like, people are thinking, and if you know me well, if you know me, hi. If you don't know me, mwah. So you get to know me, right? So if you know me well, I am very huge on content production. I actually think that producing events, trainings, whether they are courses, trainings, and educational stuff, is humanitarian, right? No matter how much you charge for it. Even if you charge $2,000 to teach people something, the fact that you thought about it and wanted to help people makes me love you. And so I love the whole concept. Kudos to our coach. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So my name is Chisom Utibe-Akah, aka Jenny Chisom, right? I've been 13 years on the grind, doing all sorts of businesses, but of course maintaining a few that have blossomed. And I'm super excited because I have made more sales writing and more sales online than I have done through any other way, right? Writing is one of the things I do. I'm a huge video fan. I'm a video producer today. I've been writing since I can spell my name, and I love reading. I'm a voracious reader. I'm a book editor par excellence for 13 years, and I've built a whole company around it, and I've built a body of work around it. So I actually have a course where I train editors and proofreaders on the business of the business of the business. So I can tell you for free that I know the role that writing, or in this case, copywriting plays. Anybody can write anything. When I was in school, I also made sure I studied my dream course, which was English and Literature. Even though my father didn't like it, but I got him to like the fact that I liked it, if you know what I mean, because I think that writing is one of God's gifts to the world. Trust me. Now, to discuss good copywriting for your sewing business, and I won't bore you. I'll take you straight into the practical things that have helped me over the years. I am not a fan of of theory and too much talk, right? So if there's something I know, first of all, let me know that you're watching by dropping your location in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from. Drop your location, country, city, and let's roll this. I'm talking to you from Uyo in Nigeria. Yeah, and I am excited to have you here. So, good copywriting for your sewing business. I understand that people who are here are people who sew as a business, whether you're sewing bags. By the way, I remember some cute leather bags that a few people are doing in Nigeria, and I love it. Whether you're sewing shoes, whether you're sewing bags, whether you're sewing clothes, whether you're sewing handkerchief, whatever it is that you're sewing, hi, well done. I want to say well done because you guys are the point of production. I've also done a production business, and I can tell you, but mine was food. So I can tell that it is not a walk in the park. Well done, well done, well done. Okay. Now I have my note here. So I'm going to be speaking from my notes prompts, from my notes point. When you heard good copywriting, what came to your mind? Really, did you research it? Did you try to say, oh, okay, what is even copywriting? I keep hearing it everywhere, thrown around in social media. Let me know what you thought about what copywriting is, and why do you think copywriting is different from writing in that sense? So let me know in the comment section as well. Okay, go ahead. Right? Okay, so let me start like this. Marketing is very key, and copywriting is the essence, the feel of marketing, if you ask me. And see, as a small business owner, what I have come to experience is that I am the gatekeeper of my business, and that means I can't leave the bulk of the marketing, things like customer service, phone call, email, responding to emails and all that. I can't leave that to just anybody who is not trained and tested and tried. And a lot of people are making these mistakes, and I think you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Yes, I'm not saying you should work in your business, let your business crumble you. You can't scale it that way, okay? But if you're just starting out, and I'm saying you haven't had anyone who you have trained, or you don't have a company you can outsource that you're sure of the integrity and delivery, and make sure that you understand the essence of your business. Please don't leave the marketing of your business. When I mean marketing, I don't mean that people can market for you. I mean the touch point where people get to meet your business. So whether it is phone call, your email, customer service procedure, don't leave that to chance, right? Because at the end of the day, you're the owner of this business, or you're the co-owner of this business. And what that means is that integrally, you're the chief marketer of your brand, right? Nobody can market your business like you. I know you have heard that, a lot of times, but that's what it is. And marketing goes beyond different phases. Yeah. And marketing goes beyond, or goes, or rather, it involves a lot of other things, right? So, no matter what your source, no matter what you do, no matter how you decide to do it, copywriting is something, good copywriting now, is something that you must pay attention to if you want to sell. Everybody's writing, or so it is. Everybody can write in that sense as much as they can, but learning how to write good copies is a skill. I know that some find writing is more easier than other people, so all they need is to be guided on the structure of how to make their writing come out more convincing and more, able to sell in that sense. So you market in different aspects. You market in your personality. Your personality tells about your business, no matter how you think about it. You sell using your maybe website, right? It's also a front burner platform for your business. You sell using your branding, the way your logo looks, your tagline, your slogan, your brand promise. All of those things are your marketing, are part of your marketing, right? You sell in the way you treat your prospective customers. And in this case, good copywriting is one of those touch points that helps you get prospective customers. You also sell or market yourself in the way you treat your customers, people who are already buying from you, right? So all of those things tell about who you are as a business owner or as a business brand, right? Also, the policies you have in your business are all part of the things that market you or tell how your business behaves. The policy you have, for instance, for exchanging products, for instance, or refunds. If somebody has bought something and maybe changed their mind, do you have a policy? What your policy, or how fair your customers or prospective customers think your policies are also part of how your brand is perceived. But amidst all of this marketing, above all of this, directly or indirectly, they all depend on good copywriting. Yeah, so I was talking about you not leaving your business marketing to just anybody. Now, how do you make sure that you can leave your business you can employ someone who is a customer care person or somebody who picks the calls and attend to clients? Is when you have good copywriting in place, a copy that tells even the person handling the phone what to say and how to say it. It is to that details, right? And that is so key. So your customer service person have to learn. Especially in Africa, we overlook this kind of things. Your customer care person have to learn that whether their grandmother died that morning, whether they are sick, whether they have cramps, whether their girlfriend broke up with them, it shouldn't change the disposition of their disposition in meeting clients, for instance. And these things have to be documented. When you document them, in a policy document, it makes your operations easier, swifter, so that when you employ people and they go and come, when a new person comes, it's easy to onboard the person, right? I'm trying to tell you the extent good copywriting can help your business. All right. Now, so everything about your marketing your business falls directly or indirectly under the technique you employ for copywriting. Yeah. Now, as somebody who made her first million copywriting, I can tell you for free, I made my first million naira, not dollar now. But we're getting there. Million naira. Actually, it was 1.2 million naira from copywriting. I can tell you a few things for free, right? Now, and I like the fact that this summit is actually free. If I were you, I'll take all the opportunities that this summit has presented from the 28th till today. Take all the opportunities, take all the offers, make sure that it's something that you go over and over again. Make sure that these things you're hearing, you come back to hear them again. After all, Christians understand that faith comes by what? Hearing, and hearing the word of God. So hearing it again and again helps it to solidify. Okay, now I was saying that I made 1.2 million naira years ago from copywriting. Ask me what I wrote. Before that time, let me give you a background. Before that time, I have been blogging for years. Before that time, I've been blogging. By this year, I've been blogging for 13 years. Even though I'm in a bit of a blogging break right now because I'm building my video portfolio on YouTube. Now, years ago, I was paid 1.2 million naira to write what? Ask me. Not a blog post, not a book, not ghostwriting. I was paid 1.2 million naira, and please, okay, I'll come to that. Before somebody say, oh, where did they see these people that pay them this amount of money? Or it's too small. However, which part of the divide you belong? What I wrote was website content and company profile. Yeah. So I help the company decide on their vision, mission, objectives, all of those, sweet spot, right? And then help them to now write a proper, succinct website content that they were using for, face forward to, to get their stakeholders on board and their customers on board. Yeah. And then somebody will say, oh, how do they get this kind of jobs? You have to charge your worth, or what you think you're worth, right? Nobody's going to come up front and say, oh, okay, I'm offering you 1.2 million naira, please help me write a website of 4 pages. Website content of all pages. And you know that these things also have, guidelines. The way you write a website content is marketing. It's copywriting at its best. The way you think about your logo. I attended business school on scholarship during our former president Jonathan's tenure, where they paid about 100 entrepreneurs to attend the Lagos Business School at that time. I was in the Abuja Center, and I remember in our operations class, the day they were teaching us about branding, branding, and how to create a good slogan, for your brand. A lot of people were struggling with it, but it was something I had created before I came, because I started my business 2 years before that time. This was in 2011. I started my business in 2009, and there was something that I had already known before then. I can never choose a name, whether it is for to register a company or a brand that will become a cliche. I always have a knack for, uniqueness when it comes to naming, branding. So I wasn't agitating. When it was my turn, I simply told them what my logo was, right? And the teacher and the lecturer was blown away. Now, what was it? The name of my company is Logos Audibles. That is my content editing and proofreading company. We also publish and advertise as well. So our slogan here today and then is, we amplify your thoughts correctly. And the man was so blown away, like, oh, how did you come up with it? Because he had just taught us how to structure it and all of that, and people were struggling to write their own in class, but I relaxed because I knew I already had it. So copywriting is a lot of things, but it is exactly how you show up and what you say and mean, and how people perceive you. Now, somebody might ask, what's copywriting? Have I even checked this thing out? I need to check this thing out. For me, copywriting is purely writing to advertise and get sales in. Copywriting is what? That kind of writing you do to advertise something and get people to buy. Simple, right? So you can write anything. You can write fiction, you can write stories, that, to make people happy. Every story has an aim, just like you watch movies. Every movie has something didactic that they are trying to pass across. So the same way, copywriting has to make sales. First of all, it has to market. You have to let people know about an offer, a product, or something you have sown in this case, right? So the platform you choose for your business, irrespective, it doesn't matter. Copywriting is still key. Whether you decide to use Instagram, Facebook, billboard, traditional billboard, whatever it is you choose to do, it doesn't matter. All it matters is how people understand what it is that you're selling. Have you seen people trying their best to sell you something, but you still can't understand what they are selling? A lot of people do it in trying to appear, like they have a lot of words, like they are motivational, all kinds of things. People say, people keep repeating themselves, saying nothing. So the language of use and all of that come to play. Copywriting even helps you sell in videos. See, the power of copywriting is so key. There's an element of what I do that has blown my mind over the years. In the days of BlackBerry Messenger, before I come back to my thoughts, I was one of those people who my pin and everything was to market you, get you to buy something from me. I mastered it. I started mastering it from there. When it got to WhatsApp, WhatsApp is one tool I have used to sell more than, every other platform, more than Facebook, more than, all other platforms. And copywriting is key. Copywriting is key. Copywriting is the reason you can get people to ask or make inquiries about what they might not even have been thinking about, but they just realized that they need because of the way you put it. Copywriting helps you make good videos. Even though it's the writing, it helps you get good videos. It helps you even decide on good images. It transcends to that. So when you get your copies right, you can repurpose your content across board. So if you've written something that is fantastic, that can sell, that is convincing enough to sell, you can also use that to make a video. You can use that to decide on an image concept, and all of them will help you sell. Right? Now, since we are talking about good copywriting, let me start with what bad copywriting is about in my experience. You have written a bad copy when you're saying what people don't understand. You're using big grammar. You are not, you're just verbose. People are even tired. Who are you? What exactly are you selling? People are listening to hear and get it. And in the first 1 minute, 3 seconds, like they say 3 seconds is how you can even retain attention. In the first 3 seconds, they're still struggling. 1 minute after, they're still reading this thing and trying to understand what this person means. Oh my God. I just remembered one of the authors. He's a Nigerian author, but he's old now. He's a Nigerian author that we read during my days in the university. I knew how I didn't like one of his works, because what is with all that big grammar? I couldn't understand a very small book, but I couldn't read it from cover to the end. Me, like this, that is a voracious reader. Me, like this, that can act for Africa. Me, that can, I just couldn't understand it. For me, I think it's bad writing, even though he's a professor and all of those good stuff. Well, so I think that in marketing, don't bring those terms in marketing. Don't be saying things, writing things that people are reading and they can't get to the point. Be specific. So your copy is bad when you are not specific. You're just saying so many things at the same time, trying to talk about so many products or different things at the same time. That's bad copy. That's a bad copy. You have a bad copy also when, after people have read what you have written, they still have questions on their minds, like, oh, who knows whether I can pay installmentally, or rather, good English or better English, who knows if I can pay in installments? Who knows whether they have another color of this shirt apart from green? Those kind of things. Your copy should have all of those. So when you're writing a copy, make sure that you think of all the likely doubts and observations and preferences that your ideal reader might have, ideal buyer in this case, might have. You have sewn this fantastic, frock or baby nursery stuff. Do you have different colors? Let your copy communicate it. Do you sell in batches of 12 and 6? Let your copy communicate it. That's the clue, right? So your copy is bad when it doesn't address this. Your copy is also bad when there is no storyline. You are just saying, oh, come and buy from me, attend my conference. Nobody looking for conference to attend. People want to solve their problems. So when you think of a story in your life, in other people's lives, or from a movie, or you have read from a book, or you have imagined that is true to life, that you can use to explain the benefit of this summit you want to do, then you're talking. Then you're writing copy. Then you're writing a good copy, right? So your copy must have a storyline. It must. Then also the next one, a copy is bad when it sounds salesy. And that's why you need a story angle to it. If it just sounds, oh, I've written this fantastic book and you should buy it, it's 2,000 naira. Did anybody wake up that day thinking of buying a book? But people will buy even if they didn't budget it, when they know that book has their interest at heart and you've written it in a way that cuts to their emotion. And that goes to my next point. A copy is bad when it doesn't touch on the emotion of people who are reading it. It doesn't elicit anger and they resolve to change something. It doesn't elicit, oh, love. It doesn't elicit any of those, oh my God, I need to do this now. I need to buy this. I really need this. I didn't know it was this bad. I can't keep hiding this problem. I need to get this solution this person is offering. It doesn't elicit all of that. Forget it. That's a bad copy. A copy is bad when it doesn't anchor on keywords. The things you're selling, what you have sown you want to sell. What are the key things that you want your reader to leave with? Is it leather or snake leather bag? Then you have to emphasize it. Don't make it too much anyway. You have to emphasize it when you're talking. What are the key benefits of that thing you have sown? It helps you to be well covered while nursing in public. So while nursing in public, you have to drum it in. You get what I mean? So let your copy amplify the keywords. Your copy is bad when it is too wordy, too long. People are reading and they can't get to the point. They are still reading and it's like, oh my gosh. Yes, there's a place for long forms. There's a place for short forms, and there's a place for the combination of both. Of course, in this case, you already know if you're going to be a good copywriter, you're not going to write today and not write again for 1 month. You're not going to write about your business today, then the next 1 month you're just sharing links about prayer or join early morning prayer, or you're just sharing links about about a comedy somebody performed. You have to be consistent, and you have to cleanse your platform from all of those things and focus. Let people know you as a sewpreneur. Let them know exactly what it is that you do. Right? So a copy that is too long, too wordy, repeating the same things. Long and wordy are even two different things. So you say the same thing in different ways, and it gets boring. A copy is bad when it doesn't tell you the benefits. It's telling you how the thing is, how long it is, how long it takes you, how this and that, without telling you that if you don't get this now, that eczema might remain in your body and Christmas is coming. You want to slay. Instead, it's telling you this thing is made from, concomitant profane. It is made from this and this. You should go and research and see that ingredient is very, very good for removing acne. Tell somebody about the fact that you want to step out and be the center of attraction without your skin distracting people from your real beauty. Then you're talking. You know what I mean? Your copy has to tell the benefits of using it or of buying it. Nobody wants to know, oh, this, that. All those ones they can find out later. Yeah? A copy is bad when you have not written it. I needed to add this one. You decide not to write it. It's bad. Nobody knows what you do. You're flying blind. You're like a pilot flying in La La Land. You don't know where you're heading to. So your copy must be authentic. It must be humane. It must appeal to emotion. It must be straight to the point. It must not be selling people stuff. Buy. If I don't use that word buy, yeah, if you can, look for synonyms. Look for synonyms like grab this now. You need this now. Get yours here. Something very, 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 very that will make people feel like, oh, I want to get mine. Reserve your seat here. Yeah. So, as a blogger of 13 years, I have also mastered a few things and how to make my life easy generally. So, usually people say, oh, how do you write a good copy? How do you write a good? I will tell you. I will give you a template. It's a 10 step. If you remember them, of course, you will only remember them when you practice writing with that format. That way, you can never get it wrong. So all you have to do is to change the scenarios, change the stories, change the product, change the images, and then you keep having fantastic copy. So are you ready to take my template? Let's go. And if you get this template right all the time, even to make a video, like a 1-minute video selling what you're doing, it will be easy. Even though that have a slightly different format because you have to be brief, but you can still figure it out. And here to answer questions if you have later on. So, like I said, I like to make my life easy. So, number one, I'm going to give you a 10-step. Number one, write down. Number one thing to do is to think of an idea or a story. Just think of a story. So, something has happened to you when you were fetching water with your sister back in the 80s that is so hilarious. Think of a story. Think of an idea. Think of, oh, I don't know why Igbo men are so, this, they don't like to exercise, and they don't satisfy their wives. Just think of an idea or a story. Think about it and keep it in the image of your mind. Please write it down so that you don't forget. Write it down. Remember, when you get into the creative process, these are step-by-step things I'm giving you to do so that you can come up with a good copy all the time. Number 2, so you've thought about an idea or a story. Number 1, you've written something to remind you of that story, okay, or an idea. Number 2, think of how that story relates to something that you have sewn recently, something you have made. Think about it. There is always a way. Think as I'm talking. Now, close. So, whether close your eyes or open your eyes, think of a story, something hilarious, something that is sober, something that, that is fun, something you haven't shared that you think will help people. Think of an idea or a story. Put that story in your mind or idea in your mind and write it down. Then now, think of how that story relates to something you have made that you want to sell, something you have sewn. Fine. Think of that story, think of that thing, think of that story, think of that. There's always a way to relate. Note it down. Then let's get into the real work. Number 3, which is step 3. Write down a creative title that will call attention for people to read this copy. That you know the idea that you want to pass now. You know the product that you have sewn, something you have made that relates to that story. So find a title that if you use it to get people that you can use to get people to make sure they read this story about this very fun thing that you want to talk about. Think of a creative title. And at this point, this is step 4. Or rather, this is step 3. Step 4 now, next thing is think of a product you have made that explains that idea or story you have best. Is it a frock you have made? Is it a handbag? Is it a shoe for men? Is it a back to school shoe you have made? What is it? Think about it and then conceptualize that project image. That means think about how you are going to snap the picture of that thing you have sewn after this summit. Think of how you're going to snap it, how it is going to be. Do you understand what I mean? So conceptualize a product image. That's number 4. And at this point, it can be vice versa. Some people also, like somebody like me, sometimes I start the process from number 4. I start with thinking of a product or something I want to sell. Then that product I will think of a story that relates to it. You get what I mean? So number 4 can be your number 1. Then you follow up that way. But don't miss the track. Number 4. Then number 5. Think of a goal, something you want to achieve by the time you're done writing this copy. Do you want more people to know about your business? Number 1. 2. Do you want more people to engage with your business and make inquiries, call you, make orders? Number 2. Or number 3, do you want people to actually buy? What is your aim? Do you want people to buy immediately you post? Because you know why this is important? It will define how you're going to put your copy and how you're going to write it and how you're going to call to action. Very important. That's number 5. Number 6, go ahead right now and write that story or that idea you have thought about. Write it down now in simple terms. What happened? Just like a short story, right? Try to be as descriptive as you can, but short story. It doesn't have to be anything more than 250 words, please. Just write a short story as an intro. It can be 100 words, it can be 50 words, but write a good story. Try to share that experience you've thought about or that idea as a story to start with, right? That's number 6. Number 7, when you're done writing that story, now tell how that story relates to something you have made, something you have sewn, right? What you bring to the table to either get to solve that problem that you have painted in the scenario of the story, or how your product complements that story. That's number 7. Number 8, think of a bonus you can add. If somebody walks into if the person walked into a physical store and wants to buy that same thing, it's possible you offer the person sweets as well or bottled water or something. So this is online. So think of something you can give as an add-on for free for anybody who takes this solution this offer you have brought in after telling the story. That story have painted an image in their mind, has created a hunger in their mind, and now you have offered them what you have made that will suit, or prevent something that the scenario of the story painted, depending on what the situation is. Give a bonus as an add-on to that product or that thing you have sewn that you want them to buy, right? That's number 8. Now in number 9, go ahead and let them know that they have to take fast action. Ask them to take fast action. But how do you do that? You create a scarcity. Oh, I'm making this available for just 48 hours. Or I have only one offer left. Oh, I have only one frock left. So your image can even be holding that frock up. Oh, who wants this? Is going. You're going to find that more than one person is going to ask for it. And you're still going to sell it and sell other ones you have. Yeah? So number 9 is create a scarcity, or that there's no time, so that people can take fast action. Okay? Then number 10. Call to action. Tell them exactly what you want them to do. You want them to call you. You want them to click a link and leave their names. You want them to get into your email list. You want them to buy by putting up a link where they can get straight to your payment gateway. All this depends on your goal that you have decided in, after number 4. So if your goal is awareness, you could be asking them to share more, send it to their friends and all of that. If your goal is to get more people who are interested in buying that thing, that is leads, tell them to engage, drop a comment, what do they think, inbox you, click a link and join your email list or a waiting list to get it. All of those, very important. It means that you already must have prepared your call to action trigger. Prepare it ready. So if you need people to join your email list or a wait list, you must have prepared your email list link that you're going to share in your call to action at the end of it, right? Then if your aim is to get people to convert entirely, most times it's better you are writing this to people who already have bought from you or know you. So maybe if you're sending this copy in your email list or people who already have engaged with you, they have bought from you before, then it's easy to convert them to buy this other thing you're selling by saying, please go right here and pay for your own right now. It is this amount. I'm giving you a discount to do this because you have been with me. You know what I mean? That's number 10. That's my 10, my 10-step template to help you write a good copy. Does that make sense? Did you get all the points? Did somebody get all the points? Write it in the comment section so that anybody who didn't get it can get it. Or you rewind this video and watch. Okay? Now, if you want to make a good copy, you must write clearly. Please don't use big words. Don't use tenses that are not matching. When something is in the plural, the verb has to be plural. So, people are... Oh, okay, let me put it like that. People buy. A person buys. You get what I mean? And, let me not get into editing club, but, if you're using English to communicate, please make sure that you can research certain things. Even your laptop, when you're typing, or your phone, sometimes they auto-correct you. Look at what is the correct thing. It's not in all cases that it's correct. And please make adjustment to those things that is flags, especially those ones that are in red and in blue. Please make sure you look at it and correct it. Don't send any writing out until you have read it again. So if you write a copy now, leave it after a while, do other things later in the evening or tomorrow morning, read it again and again, you are going to see some things to highlight. The last way that you're going to make sure that your writing comes out flawless is that you read it aloud to yourself, right? Before you post, read it aloud. Okay, I was walking down the stream that day when a snake came out. I wish I had this. Looking back now, I wish I had boots on. I mean, today I have been able to go ahead to make boots that you can wear to anywhere, to any event, to prevent all of those kind of incidences that can ruin our childhood. I make the best boots in Africa and at a very affordable luxury price. Now, if you want to get it, you can't get it except you order, and that's why I'm making you the offer first. Blah 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 blah. Click here to join my waiting list, or click here to get it right now. We have only 2 colors in red. Whatever. I'm just saying. So read it out to yourself. You might also see 1 or 2 grammatical errors or typo errors and correct them before you post. Now, this process might look like, oh my God, all of this thing I'm going to do, but by the time you keep doing it, it becomes easy peasy. Easy peasy. Like when you want to also write a good copy, make sure that you answer all the likely questions that or doubts, all the doubts that will come in somebody's mind when they are reading it. Think about those doubts ahead of the person and answer them, right? So that's why we have things like frequently asked questions. When you see some courses or some coaches do, you'll see them answer questions. Oh, so can I pay after 13th? Or can I pay? What happens if I'm not able to attend and I pay? What happens with this? So all of those things, address them in the body of the copy, right? In a very clear way. Also, ensure that the image you want to use to communicate that thing is apt, like it tells that story like to the point, right? Make your title like a professional. Title like a pro. Right? Don't be afraid to use controversial stuff as long as it's related. If you go through my Facebook page, Chisom Utibe-Akah, you have a clue about a few things I caption and the way my mind works. Right? So, when you're writing, focus on one person. I think this is very important. Focus on one person. So you might have this nursery. I don't know why I keep using this example. You might have this nursery cover you have made that women use to cover themselves while breastfeeding in public. You have made. Now today you decide that your copy will be directed to the mothers themselves who nurse in public, right? Have one mother who nurses in public on your mind when you're writing that copy. On another post for the next day, you can focus on fathers who have young children, who have newborns. So how the language will change, the way you address it will change, the way you want them to buy will change, because you're going to appeal more to loving your wife enough to want to buy it, for instance. You know what I mean? So always think of one person that copy will activate or trigger to buy rather, and write like you're talking to the person. Yeah, write one person per time. Okay, so I'm going to take your questions here. Just drop them in comments. I think the organizer will let us know, but I'm here for a few more minutes to answer any questions you may have, right? And then we'll take it from there. I have really enjoyed sharing with you what I know about copywriting, and of course I know the real job is in actual writing, which is something you should go and do, actually write. And I think I'll make an offer to maybe 5 people who are willing to write copies, and then I can help them. I can read the copies and make a few adjustments for them here and there. Yeah, that's an offer I'm giving for the first 5 people that email me at chisomutibe-akah@gmail.com. I will give you a session where we can go through your copy together and okay it, and then you can post. Incidentally, I'm off Facebook for now. I'm off social media for now. I'm only on my YouTube channel and my email. So if you're looking for me on Facebook, Instagram, you might not get me, but I'm on WhatsApp and on my YouTube channels, right? So yeah, send me an email. The first 5 I get, I'm going to work on them and work with you to make sure you have a great copy. Okay, now if you don't know, I have online courses that I have sold, most unlikely online courses that I have sold. I produce events as well. I have events for single people who are above 35 and waiting to get married, and I've sold all of these things. I've sold bloggers events, all by using good copywriting. I have sold trainings on different aspects of life, training, personal development. I've sold books, ebooks, I've sold webinars, I've sold all kinds of things by just writing. Okay, and I already told you how that it made me my first million copywriting, right? So don't sleep on this offer. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm going to be waiting for you in the comment section to answer your questions, and of course get your emails if you want me to help you. Thank you so much, everyone. Talk to you soon.